Good morning. Good morning. Even though it's early. Okay. What I tried to do when this project came about was not just like build a bench. We can just buy a bench and pop it down. I tried to use a lot of, oh, this guy's phone. I tried to use a lot of symbolism because I wanted to relate not only the first project on this Greenway, but also to incorporate feelings and ideas of the community along with the Greenway. So it's one integral project. It's not a separate piece from the community or from the Greenway. I want them to be the same. So there's a lot of symbolism, and I got this from community member meetings, from information I was given. And coincidence, a lot of weird things happen too. I'll explain that. I don't have much time. I think I only have. Okay. What this is called is 5 points bench, and the concept was because there were 5 major words or concepts that came out of the community: faith, hope, endurance, and also someone mentioned that area down there was one time known as 5 Points. So I'm thinking, well, here's the connection, here's the basis. So. But how do we do this? So I took a bench, a 10-foot bench, and then I created 5 segments of it. It's one bench. These are very big. These are 2 feet, not like chairs. And I bent it around in a semicircle. And I felt this would be welcoming, inviting. This is a 12-foot concrete walk right here. So as people are coming along, it wouldn't be separate from this, but an inviting, welcome thing, kind of like front porch we used to have. And people walk down the street and you see your neighbor and chit-chat. And that was sort of the idea, to be inviting and at the same time to create each seating area represents a specific idea, separate idea. And in back of it are 5 glacier boulders extracted right from, they'll be brought out from the ground right there. Because another part of the symbolism I wanted to create was the bedrock of this community. This community was built on this bedrock, and this community, being the first black community, was the bedrock of this really organized kind of civilization, a planned community. It's unique in that way. So I thought symbolizing it with rocks, which strength, longevity, but I thought it was really an important part, and from the very beginning, my very first concepts were about using the boulders or stones from this area. And of course then it evolved into the seating area. And these are built of steel, very heavy, and the wood, it is wood slats, because I find, oh, right here, these wood slats, because that's really the most comfortable surface to sit on. This is African teak, and I think those are, bringing that relationship back. The symbolism of the semicircle, which invites conversation, but not confrontation, like 2 things are opposite. And if you have one continuous bench over 6 feet, tendency, if somebody's sitting on it, you're walking by, you won't sit on that same bench. But if there are 2 separate ones, you'll sit in one. So my idea was to separate it, so if somebody's sitting here, you wouldn't mind sitting there. And that could create dialogue within the community. And people exploring the word. These are cut out of steel. This is all steel. And these words, these letters, if you all can see that, they're burnout, cut out. So you're looking through into the negative space behind the air. And so you see these cut-out letters in steel. And this is red, crushed red brick back here for the base where the rocks are going to be brought and set into. Well, that's the basic idea that I had. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Fantastic.
You like it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I felt very strong about relating to this. It started from the first time I met with James and Angela, and the very second, and they brought me down here, and I felt, the minute I came here, I felt very strong about in trying to incorporate the feelings of this community into the overall concept of the city and Greensboro and all that. I think that was really important. I just couldn't see just putting an object that we could create benches or anything, just putting an object that didn't really mean something here. And I think it's important to start this project off that way. For this whole city. I think it's important that these things should relate to the areas that they're in. And so I just gleaned out what I picked up was these very important words. And I think people will will really relate to that, and maybe even understand the glacial boulders, the rocks, but they're coming out of the same spot where this bench is. There's a place we're gonna pull those right out. So they will be really the bedrock of this community. Question?
You starting in that area where Lee Street and Southville near where was 5 Points?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this
well,
gonna
there's-
be right in the center?
Right up from that road doesn't actually have a name. It's with the,
Off of Eugene.
yeah, off of Eugene, there's a road and there's like two greenways going right down in there, very nice, actually. And I think the college owns that property.
Greensboro College.
Yes.
So
And
that's
it's
the
off
side
of the
from-
it's not at the intersection, it's down, it's just right up here
I
from
know
the.
exactly where it was. I was born right up the street.
Okay, well, it's just right up here from the church. You turn left and you just go in a little
That's why I was
tiny bit.
asking, because the neighborhood started beyond that point, where Greensboro College is.
Yes.
It's just beyond 5 Points.
Okay,
Was just as you go the hill to
Yeah.
go up Eugene,
Yeah.
it went up that far.
okay.
And
Yes,
Black
ma'am.
Business.
Excuse me,
up
is
there.
that, where the old, Bragg Street used to be?
Yes. In fact, where that street ends, this unit's gonna be built just right there, a little
Yeah.
tiny bit. Right, that's the area, yeah. And it's gonna be really nice because it's set up for it. And they're, the plantings, the whole proposal they have, which they'll explain, I don't have anything to do with that. Just this is enough. And, it's just perfect because there's a road going down there, but there's green on both sides. It's a nice width, and I think it's just perfect for starting this whole project out. And since this is the first community, I think it's kind of neat that this is the first place they're going to start this. I mean, there's a relationship. Oh, the wood? Anybody want to touch a piece of wood? That's the African teak. Now, this is absolutely durable. None of this requires maintenance. at
Where
all.
he's putting this is right beside the original Ash Street. It's still-
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will the houses or the homes be affected by this?
No, not at all. Oh, no. There's nothing being displaced or moved or changed. I mean, that land is now a green lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's kind of a shame because it's really a nice little section, but people don't use it because it's not people friendly. There's nothing there for people. Now, there will be with this and the addition of the other things. You're gonna put I understand a lot of roses in there, a lot of things. It'd be a really nice area to walk. And anybody can use this, handicapped if you're in a stroller, a lady with kids and whatever, because you can just come right in here. There's no restrictions or anything that's gonna get in your way. So that'll make it even a little bit nicer.
And there would be no place that someone could possibly hide, or it'd be safe.
It's safe, you can't really hide here. You can't live here, that's why it's not a long, somebody,
This part of the trail will also be lit.
Right.
yes, yeah. I think, and there's gonna be a fence, I believe they're gonna build a real nice fence
Yes.
back here. An attractive architectural fence, something like that. But this is just a kind of a rough idea of what, it's with the